good, bad, or indifferent. She don't care. And she's always going to cater to her daughter, which is called Virgo. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. Where's she at? There she go. Virgo, right? Now this Virgo right here has Libra between her counterpart, Scorpio. Virgo, Scorpio, Libra means that this injustice, now you look at the symbol in here because it's important. Because it's an ankh broken in two parts. When you take this long staff right here and flip it, it forms under the bottom and make the ankh. Now remember, we was looking for the ankh, right? Now, even if you look a little closer, you can see a baby face right here, right? So it's telling you that the key to eternal life is the rebirth. The rebirth through your seed, your child, your offspring, right? The injustice, the broken ankh, is between Virgo and Scorpio and Virgo, the man and the woman. You see this right here, this infinity loop on Virgo? That's because this is the deception. This is the great upside down in this infinity loop of this. We supposed to go up in a spiral, but right now we stuck. Our spiral was flipping us to the upside down, to the right side up, to the upside down, to the right side up, in a perpetual loop of slavery through conjure and science. This is the breakdown of this shit. Okay, now, right here is the balance. This is Cancer, the 6 and the 9, right? Now, the 3-6 flip comes in that when you flip these out, these are multiples of 3. This is 2 3s. This is 3 3s. So then you have 3 being the unknown variable, which is the missing 3, which is the 2-ball cane. These two, right, is in the balance, right? This is called Cancer. We crippin' now. For all y'all in the hood on the West Coast, we crippin' now. But that don't mean nothing. Because sooner or later, we have to get back over here to the water. Where is Aquarius at? Aquarius. Right? When you get to the water, you bleed. Why the blood's bleeding on the crypts? If you see the stellar setup. Right? But then you got the gift giver that comes before the water bearer. The water bearer is the age of Aquarius. So now remember, we in the upside down. So in order to stop the rain, we have to flip the crabs out of the bucket. You see the bucket, right? Crabs in a bucket. Crabs in the bucket. They can't get out because they keeping each other in there. This is the balance. So in order for Libra to balance the woman and the man, during the age of Aquarius, the Cancer, Vesica Pisces, has to flip, which will also affect, where's she at? That's Gemini, Taurus, Pisces. Because the fish can't swim on land. Right? So now, I'm not going to go into too much more of this. I want to get back to this. Okay, now, so the Great Mother is watching her daughter. This is love on the crucifix, being held back from eternal life because of the sacrifices that she got to make. And somebody is starting to get pissed off. Okay, now, the remedy, as we go through these, look at there. The Ice Princess, right? Where we at? We in the deep freeze, right? The Ice Princess, this is a Blue Lodge Ice Princess, Isis. Flip with the sacrifice one to give you the option to wake up from the spell. Now, This the queen of the sea, the Q. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And that word is called thought, because the thought is the cause of it all. So in the thought manifests thought, wisdom. So wisdom manifests, recognizes the queen of the sea, or he see the queen, right? This is 11:10. This is a birthday flip off a rebirth, right? Now, if you look right here, this is my growing up address, 650 in reverse. I'm looking at it through a mirror. Now, you see over here is 945. But if you flip it, it's 69, because 4 and 5 is 9. And when you flip 6 over, the 9 over, it's a 6. So it's 69 on the balance. So the new birth is balanced off me, right? And this up here just so happened to be the family crest, which was my blue, which was like a map, a road map to get where I'm at now. Okay. So now I'm following these signs. Now you see somebody waiting, right? And the sun is rising in her. Now remember, I showed you her here. Okay, so I'm gonna do some invites to this video right here. And, we're gonna get into a few topics today on politics and the fall of America. So I'm gonna do me some invites and get these people started, so everybody can see what's going on a different level. Basically gonna give y'all some information. So let me get these invites in, and we off and running today. No BS, no sugarcoating, no downplaying, no coddling nobody emotions and all none of that. I'm gonna flat out tell y'all what time it is. It's some real unsavory flavors in the water, so to speak. And we're gonna get to what really goes on. So do a couple more invites and we're gonna dive off into this. I want to make sure I got the people that actually got a sense of reality of what's going on, at least a little bit. So we're gonna talk this, the workers' struggle is part of this. It's the most critical thing that we dealing with is the worker struggle. Now, as a UAW auto worker, the auto worker being the blood life of the Midwest, what we call the middle class. So I'm about to put y'all up on game, because the auto workers are not realizing what they being faced with, what they up against. And so I got a couple more here I want to get in here. I think I got them all now. I'm going to get my sister in there. Alright, yeah, so we're going to get these people in here too. There's some good people. Okay. So this video will start off talking about the 3-knock rule. When I get 3 knocks or 3 grievances from a particular place, based off the changing of the guard, the expansion and contraction of the power structure, and the passing of the torch, what we were supposed to do was got out of this without seeing the fall of America. We could have got out of this with the least amount of destruction available for the transition, but there had to be some upheaval, some grand okay, that's good. some grand design to this madness. How y'all doing today? So, yesterday, I gave my third return knot to the United Auto Workers, and specifically the shop I worked at called Lake Orion. And what the 3 knocks is this. At the closing of an age, and a large group of people is affected by an issue, and it's the same issue. And 3 people, sincere and heartfelt, call for assistance from divinity, from source. Well, they have a person whose job it is to answer all of the grievances at the close of the age. And y'all know him as the high priest Melchizedek. Melchizedek literally means, it comes from 2 Hebrew words, Melchi, Siddiq, which means angel of justice or messenger of justice. And they specifically talking about a specific messenger out of the ancient Kemetic pantheon that we know him as Jehuti or Thoth, or the incarnated wise one, the wisest to ever do it. My Lord, Baron Samadi, is the sub-Saharan expression of Thoth, Jehuti. In a different African language, his name is not Jehuti, it's Baron. They got a couple more other names, I'm not going to get all off into his name. But the point being is, I heard the 3 knots, 3 people vexed valid complaint, and I answered once. Then I answered twice. Yesterday I answered the 3rd time. So they have until 24 hours from the post with the button where I told them there was knock 3 from me and I will be free if they don't respond. What do I mean by that? If the auto workers feel they don't need the grievance addressed anymore from divine source, and that they can handle it on their own, that means that they own their own, and I don't have nothing else to do with it, and I can't help them. I'm not obligated to them anymore. I've done my due diligence. I played my part. I pushed my pieces. I put them in an optimal position to win, but they don't acknowledge my presence. And because they don't acknowledge me after they called me forth, I don't have to acknowledge them now, which goes directly to that Bible verse where it say, if you deny me before men, I'll deny you before my Father. But that's not what it's supposed to say. It's supposed to say, if you deny me before the world, I'll deny you before my mother. So, in seeing the situation for what it is, this is what's going on with the UAW contract. There will be no contract settled by the big 3. The grievance don't work by direct. Can't nobody walk up to me and directly ask me to deal with a grievance. The grievance has to be what they call a lamentation, where a person sees an injustice that's being done to them, but the injustice is too big for the one person to handle. So they go and they address the issue publicly before a public forum, and in that public forum they vex the grievance. Once the grievance is vexed, I hear it. I don't have to respond on the first or the second one. But if I hear the 3rd grievance and it comes from a legitimate source, and the grievance is heartfelt, meaning sincere, I have to deal with the issue according to what's presented before me. So the auto workers is this. The company wants to cut their pay, make them pay for their own health care and dental and optical, and there's no reason for that. Now, the auto workers assume that because I'm a bookworm, I don't got a lot to say on the floor normally, that when I finally do speak up, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about and I'm crazy. That's fine. Y'all asked for some help from divinity. He sent you me. You underestimated me, and you looked at me if I was incompetent and inept, never knowing that I know as much law as Johnny Cochran. never knowing that I know much science as any physicist, never knowing that I know more religious doctrines than your average minister, never knowing, because y'all never took the time to know who I was as a person. So you assume, because you don't know who the fuck I am and how I'm cut, you never took the time to get to know me when I stood next to you. So you automatically assume I'm fucked up some kind of way in the head and I don't know what I'm talking about. So here's what's about to happen. At the end of this 24 hours, if there is not a viable reason to pursue a UAW assistance agenda, I'm not going to do it. They on their own. They on their own after this. After the 24 hours expired, it's Friday the 13th, right? This is actually what they call Friar's Day, or fryer, meaning the one who fries, the cook, making a reference to the mother. But they have you thinking it's something else. But anyway, so this being the 13th, being the center point of the Zodiac, and it's originally, traditionally, the bad luck number, 13, when in all actuality, 13 is the queen seat, which is fine. They can say what they want to say, and they can call me crazy. But this is what's about to happen with the workers. As soon as GM move overseas, that's going to cause a collapse in Ford and Chrysler. That's going to cause a vacuum. It's going to cause an economic and a labor vacuum. And that vacuum is going to take years to recover from. When all they had to do was follow the process laid out by historical union workers who've done the work, laid the foundation, and gave you the program, then the shit easy. But since they automatically assume that I'm speaking presumptuously, never knowing that I'm not going to say shit unless I know what the fuck I'm talking about first. I got to know I know what I'm talking about in order to be of any use. If you don't know what the fuck you talking about, you a useless motherfucker. You in the way. I ain't going to never be in the way, because I'm not going to never speak on some shit and not know what I'm talking about. They're going to strike. They're not going to have any option if they want a contract. They didn't have to strike. Had they took me serious, they would have never had to strike. But they got 2 days left. 12 midnight Sunday is the scheduled first deadline for the strike if they don't get a carryover. But I'm free from it. I don't have to deal with the issue, as once this 24 hours is up, right, on my third knock, I don't have nothing. They on their own. I can come back if they call me back, but will I is the $1 million question. Probably not. More than likely, I'm not going to come and help them after I did everything I could to try to help them, and they wrote me off as being a basket case and a lunatic, which is fine by me. I'm good with that. But I don't have to be here. So as soon as the auto industry buckle under the weight of a strike, that the workers will not be able to outstretch the company financially. There's only like a handful of workers that's financially stable enough to outlast a company in a strike economically without going under. Only a handful. So the majority of auto workers, the vast majority of them, are in dire straits and don't even see the writing on the wall. But when this fall, when this crumble, it's all over with, I'm good. Shit, I did my due diligence. I did my part. See, I know what's going on, Carolyn. I worked for GM for 10 years. And I went in there to try to find out how to balance out what's going on with the workers. I'm good, right? I did my part. They is the corporations, India. GM, Ford, and Chrysler, the executive branch of the companies, have no interest in dealing with the UAW if they don't deal with me. There's no interest there. I done been in contact with the CEO of GM already. I already told the people what the contract was, a take it or leave it contract. I already know what's going on. But they write me off as being an irrational lunatic because I won't tolerate the oppression and the subjugation of my fellow workers. Now, if that makes me insane, then so be it. But at the end of the day, when this shit all hit the fan, I'm good. I'm going to be straight. I don't need to be here. All these motherfuckers called me to fix shit. And then when I come to fix shit, everybody that need this shit fixed don't want it fixed. I'm good. They could have left me in the motherfucking pits of hell where I was at, minding my goddamn business. They didn't have to conjure me to fuck up. None of them. They could have left me alone. You don't ask for God to come and do something for you, and he sends somebody to help your dumb ass, and you shit on them. I'm good with that. You know? I'm blood tied to somebody I really care about. I could break the blood tie. You know? I'm good with that. Look, I don't need this planet, this oxygen. All this shit is toxic to me. Don't none of